Welcome to If I Rule the World, the show that does for politicians in Britain what Bill Clinton did for Monica Lewinsky in the Oval Office. On the blue team tonight are Graeme Garden and Janet Street Porter, and on the red team, Jeremy Hardy and Tony Hawks. Let's start with a game called State of the Nation. We've asked our audience a number of questions. All our teams have to do is to work out the most popular answers to those questions. I'm going to start with you, Jeremy. The audience was asked this question. If a missile landed on Britain tomorrow, which city would you like it to destroy?
I have to say, although we are launching missiles on Iraq tomorrow, these are very high-tech, smart weapons, and we do hope that most of them will land in the sort of Middle East area, and only very few should land in this country.
Yes.
I would think most people here are probably Londoners, so they'd probably say somewhere like Bath, which would take out quite a lot of countryside as well. So somewhere rural, a rural city that would involve lots of...
Rural city? I don't think you can have rural cities, can you? I mean, a city is essentially urban, isn't it?
No, as long as it has a cathedral, Clive.
Yes.
They might say Man City, of course. Except that Man City seem to do a bloody good job of destroying themselves, don't
yes. They? All right.
But, what are you going for? You're the leader.
I think Ely.
Ely. Let's see what the answer here was from the audience. Liverpool, 23%. Somebody else said Hull or Wigan, don't mind which. And somebody else said anywhere in Wales apart from my mum's house. Anyway, Graeme, your question that you have to deal with, what will be the main topic of debate at the Welsh Assembly? What do you think the audience made of that?
Well, I think the Assembly will largely talk about why are we here. But I think their main topic of debate will be sheep, obviously.
Why would that be?
They have a great interest in sheep.
Do they?
Yes. But this audience, I would think, would say rugby.
Well, you know, I'm half Welsh, so
Which half,
Welsh...
Seth?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Maybe not the top half, the bottom half.
Now you say this, I do detect a sort of Welsh lilt into your voice.
Can you see me in one of those big pointy hats?
Yes, I frequently do. So between you, what answer are you coming up with?
Well, I don't know. Well, they won't be able to converse because they won't be able to agree on which Welsh dialect they're talking.
Excellent point.
So,
rugby.
Rugby. Oh, dear. Very, very firm central control in your party, I can tell. So what did the audience make of this? What did they give? Close harmony singing, which just edged out sheep and sheep-related issues at 12%. Tony, what's the most annoying thing in the world? That was the question the audience was asked. What's your guess at that?
Well, I can tell you what my constituents find the most annoying thing in the world, and that's that I don't give a toss about them. But that doesn't worry me, because I don't give a toss about them. But I think, looking at this audience, I think maybe they'll go for Americans. Because Americans don't use the right words for things.
Don't they?
They call it zucchini, we call it courgettes.
Yes.
They call them pants, we call them trousers. They call Elizabeth Taylor an actress, we call her an embarrassing old tart. And no, hear me out, Clive.
Well,
President Clinton calls it getting close to someone emotionally, we call it a blowjob.
right. So with that preamble, if that's what I can call that...
I think that I'm absolutely 100%
Americans.
sure that they will say... I think I'll even go for the figure. I'll go 34% saying Americans.
Oh, you're going for the double whammy on that one. So 34% Americans. What did the audience, in fact, answer in what proportion? Mobile phones on trays. Somebody says the guy in front of me, blue jumper, dark hair, thinks he's hilarious. Somebody else, the most annoying thing in the world is my shoes hurt. Look for the bigger picture, for goodness sake. Failing your driving test because your examiner is a ginger git. That's obviously applied to a lot of people. OK, Janet, so the question for the audience, for you to deal with, is what do people use the internet for?
Lots of politicians think it's fabulous. You can have a computer terminal in every classroom. Therefore, you don't probably need teachers. But you know what I think people use the internet for? Shagging.
Shagging?
Well, it's a dry kind of sex. It's fantastic.
Is this?
Not that I do it, but this is what I've heard. Sex on the internet.
Is this with a hard disk or a floppy disk?
Don't confuse me with science.
No. So what's the answer, Jack? I've got to tie you down. Sex.
Sex, obviously.
It's always the answer. OK, what did the people answer on this one? Porn. So go, that's well done, Janet. You get that one, yes. OK. The other things people do is pretending to be Mina, a 16-year-old schoolgirl from Helsinki. Oh, yeah, I've had a conversation with her. And looking up celebrity addresses. I know where you live, Clive. I think Janet wins that round, hands down, so to speak. Now we go on to the yes-no round. If the participants here should use the word yes or no, we'll hear this noise, and they'll be eliminated from the round. So I'm going to start with you this week, Graeme. The euro. Do you think it's going to replace the pound?
Without question.
Is the pound going to be scrapped then?
The pound will be scraped.
Scraped?
And then ground down to make euros.
Oh, I see. Is that your policy?
That is my policy.
Do you think we're being stampeded into it against our will?
Nobody's being stampeded. At all.
Don't get too clever with me.
That's impossible.
What do you think about this demonstration, then? Are you against it? Have you heard of it?
I have not heard of it, and therefore I'm thoroughly against it.
Do you want to talk about the euro, Janet?
Not at this minute.
All right. Well, how about Beryl Bainbridge? Do you agree with her that a Scouse accent should be avoided?
It's an extreme point of view.
Do you know the Queen's English?
Of course I do.
Do you know the Queen?
I haven't really met her, Clive, have you?
You mustn't ask me questions, can you?
Why not?
Because I'm asking the questions, aren't I? Do you think that accents divide people? Are you going to answer this question?
I'm thinking about it. Don't bully me.
I'm not bullying you, am I?
You are bullying me,
Am
just
I?
because I'm a woman.
Are you a woman? Let's talk about baldness. Do you think that the German scientists are right to suggest that baldness can be a side of cleverness?
Are you talking to me here?
I'm talking to you.
Yes. Do you know my... He didn't even ask me a question.
Is that the quickest person going out in the whole game?
Oh, no.
Jeremy, are you sad to see the end of News at 10?
It's something we'll all be greeting with great sorrow.
Have you ever watched News at 10?
I have watched News at 10.
Will you watch it at 6:30?
That would be impossible, wouldn't it, Clive?
Is that a no?
Unless it was some kind of a repeat or spooky déjà vu experience.
You could video 6:30 and replay it at 10 o'clock.
I have videoed 6:30, but it can be very boring. It depends what I'm doing at the time.
Do you think...
Sometimes I may be in the lavatory or simply making the dinner.
In the lavatory?
Well, I may go to the lavatory at many different times. A politician has a very complicated life, Clive.
Is Trevor McDonald your favourite newsreader?
Certainly, he is one of my.
What about
top.
Jill Dando?
Jan Dildo is, again, one of my very favourites, especially on holiday programmes.
Are you familiar with Kirsty Young?
I know who she is.
Do you like her as a newsreader?
Only in a lewd sense.
Does Trevor McDonald have a farm?
I think you're thinking of his father. Old Trevor.
Is that his father?
I should imagine so. Young Trevor would be a pretty stupid name for a very, very old man.
Yeah. Can we talk about benefit fraud? Are you in favour of this crackdown on fraudsters?
Crackdown is an unfortunate expression. Perhaps we should start them on softer drugs and then gradually get them completely addicted to things.
Are you in favour of this system of sort of delaying payment to prevent fraud?
Delaying payment is something we all do. We all have mortgages, we all have debts. Have
you got debts?
I have small undisclosed debts to members of the cabinet, yes.
Oh, and Janet Porter wins on that one then for surviving longest. What a very intensely played game that turned out to be.